Hello, my name is Stephen Hugh, and in this section of the Digital Cinema course, we will be exploring the process of film acting. Hello, my name is Stephen Hugh, and in this section of the Digital Cinema course, we will be exploring the process of film acting. Welcome back to the Digital Cinema course Actors Training Guide. With me today is Camille Valciola and Marta Ranasab. Welcome, ladies, and thank you for coming. And please, tell me something about yourselves, your experience, your background. Camille?
Well, I was born and raised in Switzerland. I am 22 years old. I moved out here 4 years ago, and I've been acting for 3 years now, mostly focusing on theater acting. I've done a couple musicals and plays at school, and I'm trying to broaden my horizons.
Okay. Marta?
My name is Marta, and I've done a lot of stuff. I'm from Yugoslavia, born in Yugoslavia, and I've done a lot of theaters as a teenager. And when I came to Canada and America, I did some film extra and some acting and different things. And then I got married and had kids, and now I'm back to doing acting again.
Terrific. That's great. Thank you, ladies. Marta, Camille, you've told me something about yourselves, your background, your experience, and in fairness, I should talk about me. I manage the American Creative Theater on tour in Europe and the United States, and I taught for many years in Europe, and I was a dialogue director for a few movies and some commercials in Europe. And I was with the American Living History Theater here in the United States, and for about 3 or 4 years I did a one-man show in Edgar Allan Poe, and that was all through the colleges and schools we went. And just recently I directed a film short called Return to Me, and so that's basically what I've been doing, and I thought you should know. Welcome back to the Actors Training Guide. Today we will be preparing, rehearsing, and performing from an unpublished script titled The Camera. This will help our students understand the process better. But first, we will discuss the auditions. But first, I would like to talk about the audition. And there are two types of on-camera audition. The audition you get through your agent. And then there is the open call, or as known as the cattle call. And there's a reason for that. Have any of you ever been on a cattle call? Tell me about it.
It was long, frustrating, but then again, I learned a lot from it. Always show up 2 hours before.
Right. And they say you bring a photograph and resume and a toothbrush, and they mean you're really going to be there a long time.
Yes, definitely, especially for morning calls, especially for singers. Yeah. A lot of the calls are at 7 a.m., and you wake up at 3 in the morning, you warm up, and you go. It's very long.
Right. And Marta, have you ever gone on one of those calls?
No.
Okay, well, fortunate.
Yes.
Yes and no. Most likely, the reasons the production company is having open auditions is that they have seen everyone they can through the agencies, and they are putting aside those that they are considering. But they want to see something new, something to spark their imagination. And so they decided they'll put it out on the internet, they'll put it in the trades and the newspapers, and see what comes, and see if they can find exactly what it is that the production company wants. Sometimes they have no idea what they're looking for, so they just want to see what sparks their interest. Or if it's a commercial, what's going to really let the commercial people understand maybe this person speaks the product. You have been chosen because you are the right type. You are the right gender. You are within the required age range. You have the right height, the right weight. In effect, you had the right look. They may go through that process. They may bring you back and pair you off with different people, and see how you can connect with maybe someone else that they have that they're also considering. Welcome back to the Digital Cinema Course Actors Training Guide. Now, when you've gotten the audition through your agent, you most likely will be sent the sides to you via your email. Now, do you know what the sides are?
It's a part of the script that you get to see or to practice. So when you go to audition, you
right. It's part of the script that the production company has chosen for the audition purpose. In the script, The writer has explained all the character details, his obstacles, his faults, his attributes, his problems, his relationships, his loves, and all of these things. And in the end of the script, you'll know his goals and what he wants. You most likely will not know that in the sides or the scene that you have been given. The director, the producer, the writer, they may want to see what you bring to the table, what you have to offer. And there have been times when an actress or an actor has come in and done such a wonderful job that the director and the writer looked at each other and said, wow. And not only that, we never even thought of that for the character. We're going to add that to the script. And when you do something like that, it inspires everybody, especially the director. And you will most likely, 99% of the time, get the part. I've seen it happen. At this point, if there's nothing there, all you have to go on is who you are. That's what you're bringing to the table, who you are. So who are you? It's a rhetorical question you don't have to answer. But who you are is what actually brought you here. It's what comes from your depth, what your desires are, what your passions are. That creative spirit that pushes you and demands of you that self-discovery. It's that depth in you that says, I've got this creative ability and I want to develop it. I'm inspired by it. I want to sing. I want to dance. I want to explore it. I want to create. And it is my job to help you through this and get you to be where you want to be for the audition. And if you've gotten the part, then it is together that we will explore the author's intent and the director's vision together. Any script at this time has gone through many revisions, and the director and the writer have had many meetings in order to have a shared vision on the project. If the director happens to be the writer, you will find out they will argue all the way into post-production. It just so happens that's the way it is. And I've seen that happen. But what the director and the writer want from you is your believability. They want to see all the life's problems or the goals or the struggles of your character, and they want to see this in lifelike and in its simplicity. So what you are bringing to the table is a character that has inherent all the problems that's real. You are bringing a real, live human being with all the problems, and yet it has to come across simply. It has to come across so natural. It has to come across effortlessly. But yet, we see in you, we see in the audition, maybe the desperation of the character. We see in you the struggle, depending on what the sides are. If it's a comedy, the goals are a little bit different. If it's the drama, it's what we're maybe talking about right now. At this point, we have talked extensively somewhat about the sides, and that's what I have for you. This is a scene we mentioned in the beginning, the camera. It starts at the middle of the page, the interior Father Michael's office evening. That's yours. And that's yours. And I'm going to let you figure out who you are. I did not give you a character name, but I'm sure you figured it out.
Yes.
Marta, I didn't give you a character name. I think you have figured it out.
I think so.
Is there anything in your life experience that you can identify with Lily? The things that you've experienced, some of the problems along the way, or just some of her simplicity things?
Well, I've done a little bit cleaning, house cleaning. It says she's a lady in her 50s, and she takes care of the church cleaning and priest.
What else did you think you can get from? What was your impression of her character?
She's very loving and caring, and she loves God and the Lord, and she loves her father, the priest, and right now she's in distress because he's missing.
And Camille, how about you? Is there anything in your life experience that you can relate to Samantha?
Well, I feel like she's friends with this priest and she's trying to help him. in some way. It doesn't really say on the 2 pages we got, but I have helped a friend out of a bad situation, and I feel that that could be a good thing for this scene, since that's essentially what she's trying to do, is help her deal with what's going on. And also, on the other hand, she's got this priest that she's helping as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. In this, we are going to explore in Lily and in Samantha what you can empathize, what you can extract from her that's akin to your yourself, what you actually can make alive in Lily and in Samantha, what in essence is living the part. Because when we live the part, we, number one, we will inspire the scene to a greater height. We will inspire other actors to they will live the part. They can't help it because of what you have done, because of the work that you have prepared. I'm just going to read to you via Wikipedia, because they have different definitions, but this one is, this pertains to what our situation. Content underneath the spoken dialogue, under dialogue. There can be conflict, anger, competition, pride, showing off. Subtext is the unspoken thoughts and motives of characters, what they really think and believe. Subtext, just beneath the surface of dialogue, makes life interesting. But it can also cause people to be misunderstood. And that's a very good definition from Wikipedia. And subtext is what, most of the time, moves the story along. And sometimes we don't even know we're listening to it. Or we don't even know. Subtext doesn't always have to be an unspoken word, but it can be an action. Or it could be a person, we see them going to make an action and they stop themselves. That can be the subtext. I don't mean to say that in every speech the character has an underlying motive. Sometimes no means no, and yes means yes. Sometimes when you say, I'm going to the store and I'm coming back later, that's exactly what you mean, unless your subtext is getting the half and half. But if you go to the store and you forget to buy the half and half, and for a guy, maybe he's got lipstick on his collar, or he really didn't go to the store, he went someplace else, and that's something else is going on. That's another motive. That could be another subtext, or just basically a lie. Depends on the where the story is going and what are the goals of the character. The believability of a character must come from a sense of reality. Now, it's believability is what we're after. It's empathy in real life that you have brought to the character. And it's what is also known as organic. Behavior has to be lifelike and organic. Marta, what do you think I mean by organic?
It's the real. You real the character. You make the character real, and you search for that character in you, in some kind, whatever happened in your life or in your. So it's the real portraying the real person or the character, and making it the best you can make.
Okay, I can accept that. Is there anything that you can add to it?
I feel like organic would be not showing that the character is either over-rehearsed or that you're trying to act to be that character. Mm-hmm. You have to get in the character and be that person, so it doesn't seem overdone, I would say.
Right. So the character, in essence, doesn't know what's coming up. The character doesn't know what the other character is going to say. It's living the moment. We don't know what's around the corner. Now, in rehearsal we did, but when we then become the character, we don't know, because we are living in appropriate responses to the moment, to the action, to other people's comments, or other people's obstacles, or our own obstacles. Behavior has to be lifelike and organic. And when the character moves along in the natural, when the actor allows the character to come through, at that point, when you're working with another scene, that inspires other actors, and then the whole scene becomes alive. And it's like we're not acting anymore. We are in the midst of conflict and life itself. And that itself captures the audience. And the audience cries with you and laughs with you and believes with you, and in the end has the same goals that you have. And the audience walks away feeling, wow, that was terrific. I'm glad I went. There was a director in a Broadway show when, during rehearsal, no one was getting anything. So he had everybody take a break, and then after the break he said, the show is very draggy. I don't know what I'm going to do. All I can say this is I want you to start from the top and do it slower. Now, they were confused, because it was dragging, and now you want us to do it slower. But he was very smart, because what happened was they weren't paying attention to each other. They were trying to remember their lines. They were trying to this. But when they worked slower, they made contact with each other. They started talking to each other instead of at each other. They were listening to each other. And all of a sudden, it became alive. And it was no longer about timing. It was about living. And everything was working. And it was great. So sometimes we have to slow down in order to speed up, in order to make it alive. The process that's organic in itself is about slowing down, listening, and making it real, because it's not believable only to me, but it's believable to you. And you made the other character believe in you, and vice versa. Welcome back to the Actor's Training Guide. Working in class, learning exercises, these tools, which is to help you to discover the greater tool, which is yourself, should never, ever be brought to the audition, the stage, or the set. Because if you bring that, what you are doing is abandoning the character. All we're doing is showing off our exercises. We've separated ourselves from the director, everybody, and the rest of the cast. Everyone wants to know what we're doing. What we are doing in exercising and working on lessons and honing our craft is making things second nature. Making things intuitive. And honing that part, learning how to create and explore a character so that it's totally intuitive in you. And when you can do that all the time, when you can learn to do that, then you've had a huge step in working how to create a character that's believable, that's alive, that expresses itself on many facets, and you then bring and inspire the rest in that situation. So never bring exercises or show or any of that to the set. Just don't even think about it. Sometimes when we go, you've only been honing your craft a little time. Whatever it is that's second nature to you, that's fine. It's up to the director to get from you the performance that he wants. Marta, now that you've read the sides, I want your impression on, was it night or day?
Night.
Was it warm or cold?
Cold.
Early spring? Are we talking cool summer? Are we talking winter?
Spring. Cool spring, cold.
Okay.
Just turning from winter to spring.
I asked Marta these questions because, in all actuality, we all have these impressions. And sometimes we discount them as an actor or an actress. But they're very important. And we need to know what it is because it affects our organic relationship with the character and our relationship with other actors on the set. When, in real life, a person goes through the loss of a loved one, a car accident, illness, the loss, the separation of a marriage, that's all very painful. But when an actor goes through it, the actor, in essence, is enjoying it. It's cathartic. Because the actor can go home and leave his character on the set. He or she can go home, get a good night's sleep, and come back, and if he's done his craft well, can once again introduce himself to the character. But the character remains. The character in you feels the pain, but you understand as the human being that you are, that you were loaning that character your emotions. It was on loan. So in living the part, the audience will live it with you. They will be angry when you're angry. They will be happy when you're happy. They will be sad when you're sad, and when you lose a loved one, they will identify with it. And your goals and their goals will be the same. And when they have left the theater, they will have experienced something. They will be uplifted. Doesn't matter if it was a tragedy, they will still be uplifted because you brought their emotions to new heights. Now, there is that anxiety, that separation anxiety when the project is done, the show has moved on, the movie is in post-production, and you're not needed. They've got everything they want out of you, and you've got everything you've wanted out of you. Now this character I put so much into is gone, and it's abandoned me, I've abandoned it, I don't know, but what do I do now? So you need to go back, and after a week's rest or whatever, maybe you might want to go back and do a little more work on the craft, doing a little more, see where you've come, see how what that experience working on that project has done for you, and talk it over with your coach and explore that, and then go find something to work on. Maybe work on something different, like Shakespeare or Molière or Voltaire or something. Just try something totally different, because it's a good time to do that. There's an old story, and I could have brought this up earlier, but this is an old story in New York where this tourist in New York City had tickets to Carnegie Hall. Was looking for it, couldn't find it, and so he stopped this elderly, scholarly gentleman and said, "Sir, can you tell me how to get to Carnegie Hall?" And the gentleman looked at him and said, "Practice, practice, practice," and walked on. But that's so true. But obviously the gentleman was someone who was a teacher, could have been a teacher of violin, whatever. He himself could have been at Carnegie Hall. But he had that mindset, practice, practice, practice. Well, maybe the Broadway stage is your Carnegie Hall. Maybe the film is your Carnegie Hall. At Stage 37 at Universal. Your Carnegie Hall can be anywhere. And what we are going to do is work on your Carnegie Hall. We're going to work on the script in a specific way to explore the process, to find the character, and see what we have to discover. Welcome back to the Actor's Training Guide. When working on stage, the rehearsal is, in most senses, in a sequence, a sequential development, if you wish. You're in a closed environment. You're protected away from the weather and all the outside problems. And some rehearsals might be taken and work on certain scenes, but that's also usually working in sequences. And working in film is a total different story. It is best that the actor prepares so there's the wholeness of the character is in front of him or her. So, because in film, the filming process at best is chaotic. You need to know all of the emotions in all of the scenes. The filming process is best suited in a way that fits the budget. You could be filming and halfway through, you're scheduled to film the end of the movie. And God forbid, you could be filming the end of the movie during the first week of production. So you have to know what your character has gone through so you can bring that so soon into the shoot. You can bring what that character has gone through at that point in time. And then there are the times that you prepared your work and you were diligent in what you were doing, and you go to the set, and guess what? The main actor is ill. The director then may say, well, I'll film a close-up of you as a response, and I'll film a close-up of you, and then a two-shot of you, but the main actor's there, so we've got 3/4 of the day left. So while they're filming that, then they're going to work on another scene, okay? And they start shooting, and lo and behold, the main actor appears and says, I feel better. All right. That presents a new set of problems. We go back to the same schedule. Will we be in overtime? When the director was going to shoot that day, there was maybe 2 or 3 people, or 2 or 3, if there was extras, 200 or 300 people, he was going to release. And that was... and that worked within the budget. Now, because someone was ill and now they're back, and now there's a conundrum. It's a dilemma. What does he do? So he's got to work it out, what with the DP, the director of photography, and what they have to do. And then all the other people, the crafts and services, the whole cast, the whole crew has to be maybe postponed for one day. And the reason that this is done is because of one simple thing, the budget. We schedule all of these scenes at this place, and then we schedule all of these scenes at this place, and we all in back. It's all about the budget. And we've got to have complete coverage here and complete coverage here because we don't want to have to go back. But in the end, you decide that, gee, we can postpone this. We've already got the scene set up. We're going to postpone it till the next day. And you all go home, and the next sunny day is raining cats and dogs. So now what do? Do you go, the weather report was incorrect. Is it just going to rain a little while? They're calling the weather services, what's happening, where did this come from? And do we go, we're supposed to, go 20 miles down the road. Do we go there and pick up everything and go there? Or do we wait it out? But this is one thing can snowball into so many things that can be costly. And it's a guess. It's a guess. And that's why there is chaos within the filming structure. So that's why in the wholeness of your preparation for a film, you've got to know the steps of the emotional building of your character. And it's not pigeonholing it, but it's building that character so you can take any part at any place. When you have worked and discovered and explored your character, so that at any time you can be prepared for whatever scene, whatever contingency, as best as you can be, you will inspire everyone. And you will be called back again and again to work if you know how to prepare your character in such a way that you make it easy for the director and the director of the photography and for all the other actors. And in doing so, your work will inspire them. They will be glad to work with you all the time. You will be the diamond in the rough. You will be the shining star. Doesn't matter the part, they will know your work ethic. And that's what we want to continue. That's what we want to grow in you. That's what your learning, your craft is all about. And you're building a reputation that will be just serve you for many years. But now I want to stop this point, and I want for us to work on the scene. And I want you to see the process just as if this scene was an audition for you. You know, maybe this scene, you've come to me and you have to work on this scene as an audition for tomorrow. So we'll take the preparation, the rehearsal, and a performance for both of you in just a little bit. Thank you for watching this section of the Actor's Training Guide.